Welcome everybody, Brother Goodwin here, Prophecy in the Spotlight. We're back again this week with you. Got an exciting show for you once again. And I want to read you a verse to start it off with, Luke chapter 21, verse 11. Listen to this. This will be applicable with what's going on even in America, but other places of the world as well. It says in verse 11 of Luke 21, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven." Doc is in the studio. We're going to give you a look today at the convergence of signs in these last days. And boy, oh boy, everything, all the different prophecy roads are all on different lanes, different streets, but guess what? They're all going to come together right at the end time, and guess what? They're there. I'm not saying he could come tonight, but you know what? He could come tonight. He could come tomorrow. He could come next week, next year. But the truth is, he's coming soon. And you need to be aware of this for obvious reasons. So you can get your life in order, make sure you're saved, get your loved ones ready. And all right, so we'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome, everybody, to the show, Prophecy in the Spotlight. I'm Brother Goodwin. This is Dr. Charles Iltemiddle. The show today, the convergence of end-time signs. It's all happening. We did a show on this a couple years back, but man, everything is so much more blossom now. It's just shocking. The very verse we started with about the earthquakes, everybody's looking at that. I mean, they're happening, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But realize, before we start, we are a viewer-supported television network. We're also on YouTube, Rumble, we're on some radio stations, we're on BBS Radio, which is TV on the internet. We're in a couple others, VTN in Arkansas. It all costs money. And Doc and I ain't got any money. We don't even get a salary here, Doc. Haven't in 5 years.
Amen.
And we're not complaining. We have our own ministries on the side. God takes care of us. But every so often we got to come on and remind you that, hey, write a check, go to the website, hit the donate button. We need a little push right now. Okay? If you can help, let us know. We've also got the RV studio I've been talking about on the live streams. I'm doing a live stream almost every day on YouTube. And many of you that only watch TV, you're missing a lot. I try to do a YouTube live stream every day or almost every day, and we talk about a lot of different things there. And one of them is the RV studio that we've purchased, and we're still a little short on. We need about probably $3,500 as of this recording. And if you'd like to help with that, let us know. But mainly the TV network, the cost for broadcasting is a great need. And there's no way around it. Some people say, "Are you guys begging for money?" Yeah. To stay on the air, it's going to take God's people keeping us here. So we've been here 5 years, a little over now. And so we're just throwing that out to you. If you can help, we'd love to, if you want to talk to me or Doc, we'd be glad to call you on the phone, have a chat with you, and tell you our burden and our vision here. Okay, Doc, I wrote a book just a few years ago that I think applies to this subject. You've got a DVD she'll put up in a few minutes, but the 7 Clocks a Ticking book. Boy, how applicable this is.
Even more today than when you wrote it.
And I realize that it doesn't deal with all the roads of prophecy, but I picked out 7 things that I think are a prophecy road that shows that we're near the end. Let me just give the viewers a little look here. Here they are. The ticking 6,000-year clock. My goodness, that's ticking down. We're very close. We're not 10 years away, Doc.
We don't know what day it actually is. Calendars aren't actually, but it's pretty obvious we are very near.
Yeah, I don't see us having 10 more years. I mean, we could be wrong. Maybe somebody messed with the calendar 500 years ago and we don't know about it. But if the calendar's closed within a few years,
yes,
the 6,000 years is going to end, and the Sabbath of the kingdom age is coming. And God will not be late for the Sabbath. He punished Israel for not keeping the Sabbath. God certainly ain't going to miss it.
That's right.
He ain't going to be late. And that's a ticking clock. It really is. Think about that. We are dawning upon the end of the 6,000th year.
That's right.
Pretty soon. Of course, you got the tribulation in there. The Jubilee clock, the final Jubilee, is on the horizon. It's going to be when Christ comes back on the white horse, in my opinion. I believe that's the Jubilee, the 70th, the 120th from Adam. The church clock is ticking down. And by that, I mean the Laodicean age. We're getting worse and worse and worse.
Every era of the church age, in association with those letters, has had a distinct time when they began and an overlapping, of course, of it. Yeah. But we are certainly getting at the end of that Laodicean.
Now, that Laodicean, I call it the Laodicean age. Not everybody agrees with that, but that's okay. I believe that those 7 churches are literal. I believe there's figurative lessons for all generations, for us, for churches. But I believe the main teaching of Revelation is it's a prophecy book.
Right. Well, verse number 1 is the most understood verse of the whole book, really.
The Revelation, unveiling of Christ.
Unveiling, and it's all done by signs and symbols.
He signified it by his angel. Yes. And Revelation 4:1 is no doubt, it's the rapture. Behold, the door was open in heaven. I heard a voice as of a trumpet, come up hither. And that's right after that terrible church that God wants to vomit out of his mouth, the Laodicean era. And that's where we are.
Whether you want to call it whatever era, it is actually at the end of the church age.
Yeah. And
I believe we're there.
Yeah, and we fit what that church is talked about there.
Not only from the book of Revelation, but other prophetic writings, especially by the Apostle Paul, references the fact of the times of the church and the falling away and the deception that's taking place. All of it is happening.
And real quickly, the nuclear clock. I put that in the book because I've always said the nuclear clock is a ticking clock. Why is it, Doc, that only one nation has ever nuked anybody, and that's us, 1945, twice? Why has nobody, in all these rogue nations, I mean, Pakistan's got nuked. Why has nobody nuked anybody? I think we're on borrowed time.
Sure.
I think that clock, we just saw recently, President Trump made the announcement he has relocated some submarines around Russia.
Nuclear subs.
Yeah, nuclear subs. And Russia has done some moving around as well. I mean, they're saber rattling, but that's dangerous stuff.
It is.
Very dangerous stuff.
And then the earthquake the other day damaged the nuclear program of Russia.
Yeah, so they were weakened some.
And then we blew up the nuclear research labs there in Iran. And so, yes.
That nuclear clock is ticking down. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nuke goes off somewhere, maybe a small one or maybe a big one, but before the rapture, it could happen. Yeah. But it's a clock that's ticking, and the truth is the world could destroy itself in 1 hour.
Absolutely.
If everybody started shooting off their nukes. Yeah. I'm not saying we'd quit rotating, but I mean, there wouldn't be much life left. It would be devastating. And that's a ticking clock.
Absolutely.
Daniel's ticking clock. That's the one. The kingdoms of the world. We could see that now.
Yes.
The mark of the beast. All of that is there. The harvest ticking clock and Israel. All these things are ticking down.
Yes, they are.
Towards the end.
Yes.
They're roads of prophecy. They're all converging at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, Doc, you've got some things of interest too. Yes. But before you do that, I see that little red radio out again on the desk.
Yeah, so most of you probably know about it, but this is something that we can put the mini, whatever, flash drive in there with whatever language of the Bible. Matter of fact, the missions agency just sent out 75 of these, 50 down into South America jungles, and 25 of them over into somewhere in the Far East.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have supplied half of those.
Yes.
Through the people watching.
Through our people giving here. And for $25, you can help get this into the hand of nationals and in remote areas. It's an amazing
In other words, they
investment.
put a gospel message on there
Yes.
in the language
in
of
their
where
language,
they're going.
as well as the
They
entire
gather
Bible
around and
in
they
their
listen to
language.
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
what a great idea.
It's a great opportunity to reach out and touch a world. For
Okay,
the cause
so
of Christ.
it's on the website. In fact,
Yes.
you can see it on the TV screen if you are on YouTube there. There's a way to click on something. I don't know where it is, but it's probably in the comments down below. I don't know. If you're watching YouTube, if you're watching television, you can call the 800 number. Say, hey, I want to buy 10 of those. Or I want to buy 2. I want to buy
And we've
1.
had a lot of people that have bought,
several have
100
bought
here,
10s.
250 there. One guy gave 500, and so we appreciate it. And one of these days we get to heaven, you'll no doubt meet somebody that got saved, or at least was encouraged because of your giving.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So
Amen.
what have you got for us,
Well,
Doc?
in Luke chapter, I've got a DVD that I did a message on. It's full animation with PowerPoint. 7 indicators of the end times out of Luke chapter number 21. And one of the verses you just read a while ago is a part of that. And in that, the Lord gives 7 signs. And he began in verse number 8 with spiritual signs. In other words, don't be deceived. That's one of the first things he started with.
So that's really prophecy.
It is.
He's saying in the last days,
That's right.
people are going to be deceived.
People are going to be deceived, and I'm here to tell you we have a lot of deception taking place on many different levels.
And we're not just, I don't think he's just talking about being deceived about Christ or God. I think it's talking about being deceived about doctrinal issues,
Yes.
separation issues.
Deceived about truth.
Yeah.
People say, well, deceived about Christ coming. Well, Jesus is the Christ, and Jesus is the truth. And so there's a lot of deception. Then he says there'd be signs of wars and commotions. And boy, do we ever see that.
Yeah.
Wars and commotions. And matter of fact, our president right now is supposedly, and looks like he has, at least 3 or 4 wars, one of them 30 years long in the heart of Africa. He's brought peace to these wars.
I think I read that there are 7
Maybe,
things that he's
maybe I
ended.
just know there's been, and it's amazing. But there's commotions everywhere. And then he gave the next sign in verse 10. He said there would be global conflicts, nations against nations, and kingdoms against kingdoms. And we've seen World War I, World War II, and we're on the verge if something doesn't happen. World
This
War
thing
III.
with Ukraine and Russia, I don't know if people realize, this isn't Russia and Ukraine. This is Russia and NATO and Europe and
because
America.
NATO globalists using NATO nations are pushing and using, just like Iran was using their surrogates against Israel, these globalists are using Ukraine as a surrogate in this conflict with Russia. They pushed it into happening, and it's all for making rich people richer. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's blood. And so there's world conflicts. Then he said there would be signs under the earth. And so that's what we've been seeing happen in the last couple of weeks.
Signs under there. You're talking about the
Earthquakes.
plates and the earthquakes and
The
what?
plates of the, we don't have time to talk about it, but as a result of Noah's flood, the world is larger than it was before because the waters that are above in original creation are down here, and the world is, and it has stretched the plates, and the plates of the world are moving, and that's what creates earthquakes.
And that ring of fire. We did a show recently.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was one of the YouTube ones or if it was an actual TV show. We talked about the ring of fire. We had a picture of that.
We looked at it, yes,
But let's talk
recently.
about that some more because there's been some
that's
more
connected.
activity.
The ring of fire is connected with these plates. And in different areas connected with these plates are volcanoes. Many of them are dormant. I don't remember the actual number. I know there's at least 1,400 volcanoes in the world. The greater majority of them are dormant, but at some time they were not dormant. And we are watching just last week one that I think it was in the 1400s or something of that name, maybe 1600s. Anyway, it's been 600 to 800 years since it last erupted. We're seeing, as a result of the major earthquakes 2 weeks ago at both ends of the Pacific fault line, we have seen an amazing, between these earthquakes, the ring of fire is lighting up all the way around.
So
and these volcanoes are going to, if they, well, in the 80s, Mount St. Helens
and
erupted.
she has that up for you, the ring of
you
fire.
can see that around the Pacific Rim. And in the 80s, whenever Mount St. Helens erupted, the ash was 20,000 feet in the sky, and
I remember that.
Airplane traffic was changed,
Yep.
and
It
5
changed
states
temperatures
were
in
shut
different
down.
states. I mean, it affected the weather.
It did. And right now, Mount St. Helens, as a result of all of this activity, is threatening to erupt again. They've closed Yellowstone, because Yellowstone is the largest supervolcano in the world.
So make sure people understand what you're talking about. Yellowstone's right here in America.
Right here, yes.
And my dad told me about that for years. He said one day if that ever goes off, it'll cut the country in half.
It will. It'll destroy the western part of the United States. They're really concerned, because there's been like 3,000 some odd earthquakes in the last couple of weeks in that area. We're not talking big earthquakes; they call them swarms. But there has been several rather large, 5 to 6.0. And the geysers, there's been a new geyser come, and a new vent hole has appeared from that. The dome has risen at least 50 feet, and from the space station, they're able to monitor it, and they're very concerned.
And which one is this?
Yellowstone.
Okay, Yellowstone.
Yeah,
So,
Yellowstone. The dome of the cauldron has risen 50 feet.
now, you told me when we came in today, you said that there's been more news just in the last few days about
Yes.
Yellowstone.
Amazing.
Because we already knew animals were animals.
The
can
animals
sense-
have been leaving for quite a while.
They sense the
sense there's
tremors,
something
and
wrong.
they run. And you said that they evacuated the place. You
They
can't
did.
get in there.
They went in. The rangers went in and gathered all the people that were in the park, and it literally forced them out of the park and closed it down because of the. So, but coupled with that is the next sign is the third sign along with the earth is there are going to be sights in the heavens. And what's happening, Dan, with these earthquakes and with the volcanoes that are taking place, it has to do with the gravitational pull against the earth.
Yeah.
So at this same time, 6 planets have aligned with the earth on the other side of the earth from the sun. This is a major gravitational pull against the earth. We're having now some of the major sun flares, solar flares. All of this is emitting an enormous amount of energy that is affecting a lot of technology on the place of the earth. All of this together, because when God created the universe to begin with, it still is, even though sin touched, it is still interrelated with each other. I mean, Mars and other of our bodies in our solar system have a play in the gravitational pull on planet Earth. And all of this is happening at the same time. Amazing.
Yeah.
And a couple of days ago, we were able to witness, I saw some, when we went out, I took my dog out about 10 o'clock, and I saw some of the meteors. You could see them. It was one of the largest meteor displays that you'll see until next year, and it may not be near as big as it was this year. So there are the signs that he gives of the under the earth and above the earth. Well, they're everywhere. But between that, he said there'd be signs on the earth.
Yeah.
Famines and pestilences.
Yeah.
You might want to tell us about the pestilences.
Yeah, and it's coming.
We just had some.
Yeah, we had some, the 2020 thing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And
that was
man-made.
global.
It was man-made, and it was global.
Every day there's more information coming out.
Sure. And we knew that all along.
Yeah. Yeah, we did here. I mean,
Absolutely.
I was hosting Crossing News when that happened.
DVDs on that, and yes.
I scolded the pastors like a week or two after that on television because the pastors, they heard the announcement, all non-essential businesses need to close.
Yeah.
The first guys that got up was the pastor. Not all of them, but
that's not non-essential. That's very essential.
Grabbed their jacket, shut the door, and got in their car and went home. And I said, "You forgot something. You got to take your sign your name off the sign. Now let somebody else pastor. What do you mean non-essential? A church?"
But this is one of the signs, and you hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
Because right now, there's something happening in China. I don't know the name of it, but there's another one of these things taking place in China right now.
Well, look, I mean, there's young people are getting cancer like never before.
Oh, yes.
All kinds of crazy stuff's happening.
A lot of that, Dan, there are a lot of reasons for the rise of cancer and physical ailments. A part of it is the weakening of the DNA structure of the gene pool.
Yeah.
But also part of that is the weakening of the electromagnetic field, the energy that is needed for cellular regeneration, as well as some of these outside chemical things that we know about.
I know you got another couple here, but let's not forget the Ezekiel 38 thing is closer than it's ever been.
That may be one of those wars and rumors of wars.
I mean, look. I mean, Russia's been pushed up against the wall. Now, Trump is meeting with him in a couple of days. By the time this airs, it'll have already happened.
Done it.
And we'll see what comes of that. But he's been pushed against the wall by everybody. He's been lied about for 8 years from the Democrats. That's all out now. They've used Russia and blamed Russia for all this stuff. And Putin's sitting over there saying, "What are they talking about?"
And I saw today that I don't give him too much credit because Stormy in the UK is about as worthless as Clinton was here. But anyway, he's telling the rest of the NATO nations, tone it down. Don't cause any problems for the talks with Russia. And again, it is the fact that the globalists are using NATO powers to try to not have a peace over there.
Yeah.
But when Russia gets settled, and by the way, the scuttle that I'm hearing is that Russia, in order to end it, is going to demand that it controls the areas that it has conquered. We've talked about that on our several times.
But isn't that normal in wartime? Isn't that?
But it is, once again, as we said earlier, that is the Magog territory for prophecy to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so when this is settled, it's pretty odd. But yesterday, I saw this just yesterday, that the leader, this ISIS leader, who everybody thinks is such a wonderful guy in Syria, he's an Islamist, hardcore ISIS. He's in a chameleon stage right now. He has asked yesterday for Russia to move their bases next to the Syrian border of the Golan Heights to stop Israel from coming over into. These are the stages being set for Ezekiel 38.
And you got any comments on the Gaza takeover? Israel saying that we're not going to give it back. We're going to control Gaza. You got any thoughts on that?
I think this is a part of. We know that when you get to Ezekiel 38, the greater majority, if not nearly all of the world, will be opposed against Israel. And what's going to happen? I don't care how many times Netanyahu and the rest of them say, we're not occupying it to keep it. They may mean that, but to the world says, I heard the word occupy, and that's all we need to hear. And that's all the world is going to need in order for them to become more and more anti-Israel.
And after all that Israel's been through, I mean, including the October 7th massacre there, but long before that, I mean, I've seen videos, they've been people having a wedding and they blow it up and kill them innocent people. This has been going on for since they've existed there in 48. And now they're taking out their enemies after October 7th, and they've took out a lot of them.
And they're still taking some
And now
out.
people are still saying, oh, you people are committing genocide. You're doing this, you're doing that.
Oh, yeah, it's nonstop. So what's happening in Gaza is the stage, Israel is put in a position where they have no choice.
Yeah.
But no matter what they do, the world is going to continue to find something to be opposed on it.
And we think, you and I think, the Antichrist is very possibly going to be the pawn that's used to save the world or save Israel at the Ezekiel 38 war there.
He could claim victory over that. I do believe it's God that's going to do all of that.
Yeah.
But he's going to declare himself to be God by the middle of the tribulation.
And he's going to be crowned at the middle. He comes in on a white horse. That means something.
He's going to be crowned. He's going to be given authority. I don't know if it's a victor's crown or just a diadem, but he's coming. But right now, what's taking place in Israel is, I believe, a major sign of the times.
Yeah.
Getting Israel in a position without any choice. They had to do this, but it's turning more and more and more of the world against them.
Now, do you want to just 10 seconds or more on a couple more of these, or?
Well, we've talked about the main.
Oh, you got them all. Okay.
Yeah, we pretty well covered them there.
In the latter times, 1 Timothy 4:1. I just did a live stream on this on YouTube. In the latter times, some. And I made a big point. Some.
I like that.
Not all. Some shall depart from the faith.
That's
Doc,
right.
I brought out something on that. That word depart.
Mm-hmm.
If you depart a parking lot, you had to have been in the parking lot.
That's right.
If you depart from a restaurant, you had to have been in there.
So if you've departed from doctrine,
You had it at one
once
time.
held it.
That's right. I think this is talking about saved people.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Departing from, this is not losing your salvation. No. This is Christians or saved people
Yes.
who have been deceived and have gone down.
Well, one of the
road.
things he said in all of it is, don't be deceived.
Yeah. And how does it happen? Giving heed to seducing spirits.
Yes.
I think there's some preachers that are guilty of that.
Well,
And
sad, but yes.
Doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy.
Yes.
And then, of course, 2 Timothy 3 as well. Well, Doc, 48.
Well, he says commending to abstain from meats. We're having a lot of people trying to blend the Old Testament and New Testament together.
We've got 30 seconds left, Doc. What does the listeners need to take from this?
Well, number one, you need to make sure you're saved. And if you've never received Christ your Savior, realize you're a sinner. You were born that way. God loves you, provided a way for you to be able to escape the condemnation of the wrath of sin and be born again. Secondly, you need to do everything you can while you have time to reach your family for Christ.
Yeah.
Very much.
And make sure you're walking with Him.
Yes.
Spending time with God, because it's so important. Well, that's all the time we've got today. We'll be back next week at this same time. Keep your eyes on them skies.